All right, so let's talk about the surface area of a cylinder. You probably have already looked at the surface area of a polygonal prism. Just like the volume of a cylinder, it's fairly similar to the surface area, but we just of other shapes. But we just kind of need to understand what we see. Again, you should remember, or you should know, that when we split apart or make a net of a cylinder, we're going to see two circles and a rectangle. So we need to simply find the area of both of the bases and find the area of that side, and we'll be able to add them together to get our surface area. So remember that the area of a circle, once again, is pi times the radius squared. So if I'm looking at this cylinder, let's say we had a radius of 3. In this case, it's going to be 3.14 times 3 squared, which is 9. Using my calculator, 3.14 times 9 gives me 28.26. So I know that I have two of these. Okay? So that's that to start. Now let's talk about the rectangle, because this is the difficult part, or not difficult, but the harder part. We're going to need to know the height, just like with anything else. We're going to be given the height. So let's say here that the height is 8. Now we need to understand what part of the rectangle is the height. If we look at our net, obviously we'll call it the length and the width. You'll notice that if you were to fold this, the length ends are going to end up touching each other, and the width ends are going to end up touching the circles or the bases. So if we look over at our diagram, the 8 is going to be the part that touches the other length side, not the width. So here the lengths are going to come together, and the widths are going to touch the bases. So in this case, the length is 8. So now we need to figure out what is the width going to be. And the width is going to be the same as the whole way around this circle, because it folds around the circle. And we should remember that around the circle is called the circumference. And circumference is found by taking 2 times pi times the radius. So in this case, we already know what the radius is. We're just going to multiply 2 times 3.14 times 3, because the radius was 3. I'm going to use the commutative property here and do 2 times 3, which is 6, to make it easier on my calculator. 6 times 3.14 is 18.84. Okay, so that is going to be the other side of our rectangle. So now let me redraw this here so that we can see this and we kind of understand what's going on and we don't get things confused. I have a rectangle. It looks like this. This side is 8, the length. The width is 18.84. We're looking for the surface area of this cylinder, so we need to multiply those together to get the area of the rectangle, which is going to be 150.72. So lastly, all I need to do is add things up here to find the surface area. Right? So it's going to be both of the circles plus the rectangles. So the surface area is the base, or the area of the base, plus the area of the base, plus the area of the rectangle. I don't know what you call that. I'll call it A for now. Right? So in this case, it's going to be 28.26 plus 28.26. You could also multiply that by 2 plus 150.72. So if we put that all in our calculator, 28.26 plus 28.26 plus 150.72, we're going to get that our surface area is 207.24 units. This is area, so it is squared. So very similar to a prism. Find the area of the bases, find the area of the sides, and add them all up. The most difficult thing to remember here is knowing which side of your rectangle is the height of the cylinder and which side is the circumference.